I built this little node visualizer for a thing at work, and it started to get out of hand quickly. So I stopped and refactored some of the stuff, some of the layers into, did some refactoring using master properties and expressions, and really cleaned up the file quite a bit. And you can kind of see it in action here. You can see, notice there's the primary node here in the center, and then there's all these secondary nodes, and then notice these little green dots. There's the connecting lines between the primary to the secondary nodes, and then that dot is in the halfway between the two nodes, and these nodes also have text labels as well. Also note that there's a lot of these nodes, and I've been able to kind of simplify them down into one single layer. So it's sort of a nice encapsulated little animation, at least animation rig. So I'm going to show you how I built it first. So here we go. Let's see. Sorry, I should have this ready. Okay, so here's everything. So this is a layer that just is basically holds some naming. It's just a way to store names, and I'll get to that towards the end. But so really, let's just go down through the list. So don't worry about this first one. In fact, let me just hide that. So first off, we have our root node. This is just a composition imported from Figma. Nothing really special to that at all. Then we have the next thing is this node center, right? That's the secondary node, or whatever we call that. This is just some artwork. I could have grouped those into a shape layer, but into a single shape layer, but I didn't. But it doesn't matter. And then I have this label here. Basically, the node center is what's controlling everything, and then this null is tied to that, and then these other elements are tied to the null. So I can do this kind of thing, right? Then you'll notice this stroke, and I have the stroke going from the center of each of these, and I'll show you that in a second. That's done with the beam filter with the basic pick whip stuff here. You can see what's happening there, right? It's connected, and then I have this mid dot that stays right in the middle of the two nodes, right? So yeah, let me walk you through. So this one, again, this layer is connected to this thing, this secondary node. Let me show you the stroke real quick. So basically, I have a beam effect. If you go to wherever the effects are, you just basically, let me just I'll copy that. So basically, you have this layer here, and effects and presets. Oh, power save. Where did that go? Window. Effects and presets. Okay, beam's already there. So you just drag this beam onto this layer, and there it is, right? And it has all these things here. I'm actually just going to paste that back on there. That'll be easier. So I have these things here, these two starting and ending points. And notice the red, that means they're controlled by some sort of expression. You hit U, it'll show you each one. So notice here I say this comp. That means I'm inside this composition, and then I am targeting a layer, and I say layer root, which is this layer, and I do the transform.position, and that is the starting point. You can also just pick whip this to P. Those are separated, so what you have to do is, so you drag this to here, and there it is. This just basically writes that for you, the pick whip, right? So then you do dot transform dot position. I'll put a semicolon there. And then the ending point goes to node center, which is this one. So very, very easy. I don't know if there's a better way to do this. You can't export this out like in lottie files to a SVG path or anything. There seems like this could be optimized because it's a pretty node connector functionality. But anyway, so that's that. Now the mid dot, I'll turn on. Same kind of thing. So I basically say, hey, get me. So I set this variable a, and a is equal to the exact same thing, this position, right? Now, because it's position property, but there's an x position and a y position, it's actually an array. So there's position 0, which is the first one, which is x, and then position 1, which is y, which is the second in the row. Then I do the same thing for point B, which is that same node center. Now down here, I basically just say, hey, I'm going to add point A at the 0 position, which is the x. I'm going to add that to point B's 0 position. So basically that's total of both of those. In fact, if I delete that, you'll see it shoots off the thing, right? Because it's way, I don't even know where it is, but yeah, I guess it's probably, anyway, it's over there somewhere. But I want the halfway point between, I want that half that value, right? I want to add those together and then divide it by 2. And so I put distance 1, which again, these names are just kind of all over the place, but they work. So this is our x position basically, and then this is our y position. It's point A's y position and point B's y position divided by 2. And then I have to set it here. This is how you set it. You basically just say, hey, this position property right here is an array of 2 values, and here's value 1, which is x, and value 2, which is y. And that's it. And then so then these positions change, right? So I change this around, and you see that connects. So let me show you all together. Do I have a solo? Oh, there we go. Oh, that's solo too. Okay, so there we go. That's everything. Let me move that again. Right, you see that moving. You see this moving, and that dot stays in the middle. Those lines stay connected, and everything's great. Problem is, if we have, right now we have 10 layers more or less, and I guess 8 if you don't count the. You can combine those, but that's a lot. And again, if we had 12 nodes or whatever, that's 8 times 12. That would be a ton of, that's 100 layers just to do this one kind of thing. So what I did is I optimized everything and put it into this. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to go into here and show what I have. So basically pre-compose all of these into this one container pre-composition. So I'm going to show you in here. So here's everything. Same thing. So I have that center dot. I have this polygon. Again, there's that. There's that. It's the exact same setup. There's a label. And those are all tied to this null, as I showed you, right? So it still works in here. And then what I did was for stroke, so the one thing that changed, so right here, I had this in the last one, right? This comp.layer, and that's center dot, that transform position. Well, I'm not inside this main comp anymore, this one right here. So what I have to do, I have to say, hey, what comp do I want? I want the comp. Right now it says main. I'm actually going to change this to tutorial. So it's saying go find this comp and find the layer in there called primary node. So that's wait, what? Oh, that was this one. But I call that root now. So and see, it's giving me an error. It's saying that doesn't exist. So I'm coming to here and it's saying primary node doesn't exist. So I'll change that to root. And goes away, that hazard. So now this is saying go to main tutorial, find the layer root, and get the position of that. And so it's this, and it's this position, right? And sure enough, you see it lined up there. That's great. Okay. Now the center dot, oh, that's that thing, sorry. The mid dot, this thing here. So this middle dot, we have to change that as well. So same thing, comp main, and then I do, what was it? Jeez. Root. So it's in comp main, and it's, oh no, it's main dash tutorial, sorry. Main is my work one, so I just thought I'd make a new one. And then this is called root. And there, it just updated. So now this is saying, okay, go find that distance and create it and line this up here. Now note that this composition is the exact same dimensions as my main tutorial, and that's important. Otherwise, you have to do a whole like a global to local component a coordinate translation. This is just super easy for this kind of thing to just keep it the same, and then you don't have to mess with anything. So now we have this one moves, and this is tied to this one, right? You can see it's tied to that the root node in this main comp. Now label. Okay, so something's going on here. What is this? Oh, the source. Okay, so now I don't want to have to edit all these, right? How do I animate that? I want to animate them all in one place, but I can't really do. I can't animate this, right? Or that does the whole composition. So what I did was come into here, okay, so what I did was I came into here and I opened up Essential Graphics. And I basically have these different things, right? So I have this center dot position, and this is, notice this number and this number are the same, right? 2, 6, 7, 4, 5, and 12, 12. So I call that node position. And then I have the label here, and I can change that. And then I have the label opacity because I have that fade in, I have the stroke color and stroke width. These are all things that I wanted to control from the main timeline. So I add all those in there, and once you add something into the Essential Graphics Master Properties panel, I can come to here and I can control all those. So let's close all this, and you'll see all those items are right here. I have a bunch of these. I'll turn these off. Actually, oh, that's why it's not showing, because it doesn't. It was transparent. So I have node position, which I just created, right? So now I can do that from this comp. I can control this, and I can animate this. Label. Now, if you want to control the label, you have to give it an expression. In fact, I'll just delete that. Right, I have no way to change this in here, this label value. And so what I can do is show you this guy, right? So I have these names. I basically just went into here, grabbed an effect, expression controls. I picked, doesn't matter, it's any one of these, checkbox, I think I did. And now I can grab this, I can pick whip that. Oh, hold on. So you need to lock it here so that this panel stays here. And then click and drag to, oh geez, sorry, wrong one. Label. Yeah. Drag that up to here, and I put this, and it's giving me the checkbox value, right? You can see that there. But if I twirl this down, I basically just change the layer as checkbox control, and I can change that last value to dot name. click off, and there it is. Now I can just control this, and I'll call this secondary node name, and it updates there, right? So yeah, so it's a super easy way to control that. And then now I can come into here. You can see this animates the root node. Let me just turn this off, turn it back on. Go to here, and I'll do this. And then the second node, I'm going to change this position, jump over here, and I will change this like this. And then you can see them rotate just like that. So now with this in its own comp like this, I can just grab this, I can make a new one, call this one aqua. Now twirl this down, I'll move this over to here, right? And I already have everything works. The one thing I have to change, and I could make this in a different way, but I can just grab this and I can call this one. So let's duplicate that and call this Popeye, right? That's the layer name. And then I can come into here and I can say, hey, which effect do you want? It's the one I want. It's called Popeye. Those have to match. I could just do the pick whip up to that, but that's just easier. And then I can animate these any sort of way I want. And then I'll move this one, and then I'll jump to here and move that down there. And just like that, we have two nodes that work together. And everything's kind of self-contained. There's a lot more I could do to standardize some of these even further. You can tie the name to this layer name. That might be easier, or a bunch of different stuff. But anyway, that's what I came up with, and made my life easy, so I thought I'd share. Thanks.